Alright, we got paired vanilla macchiato. Alright, so we went c4. Is the board okay? Seems to be. And we get the reverse Sicilian. Well, let's go reverse Sicilian. So I think the moves I'm gonna do are these, which is the right order. Not sure always, but assume, well, of course that's not forced at all, but that's the invitation to kind of like a reverse dragon. Bing bang bong here. Views mirror this, then we are basically playing this as a white dragon Sicilian. Alright, possible move. He's playing basically a Rosolimo in reverse, where I have played g6 and have a tempo up. So we could go here. Could we use the tempo in some kind of a meaningful way? Like I could go here. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about my pawn being on d5 with the bishop here. It is probably okay. This is a move any house in a, I think in other lines. Some kind of a thorn in their side. They have to play around it a little bit if they take here. I could have just gone here and let him take there and double my pawns, and it's pretty good. And again, I can take either way. But with the fianchetto, I think I might, well, I don't know. I was gonna say that I probably would prefer the b-pawn. But now this is something completely different. But yeah, we could have gone there and let him take. Of course, he doesn't have to take. But then I don't know. This is even a little bit better, maybe with the bishop supporting the knight jump there. Not that my bishop would be super great here anyways. I'd probably have to bring it back eventually. So I don't know, maybe the pawn is actually more annoying there. Even though it does block my bishop, it kind of sucks. But at least he can't take it, they can't. Ooh. Well, obviously we could take here. It would be the same as them giving up the bishop here without me getting the double pawn. But I would have spent like 3 moves to take a bishop that moved twice. Which is a bit silly. I'll go here. With a reflection that if they take here, they could have taken there already. Unless their point is that they wanna play d6 instantly, and which they could not have done with the bishop here because of this fork here. But of course they don't have to play d6 instantly in that line either. Like chop chop. And anyways, if they take, I can decide which way I wanna take them. Again, I'm not super 100% sure that the bishop is so great there, but might be preferable to having a pawn block the bishop anyway. Still, I can take the bishop if I wish for. What else? Well, of course I could take the knight, but I don't fancy taking a knight. And also you can always count that this guy moved once. I would have spent 1, 2, 3. Of course they did some maneuvering with the bishop around here. My biggest question here is that I always hate this knight in this e5 situations with them. So I don't want to block the bishop. Also, I don't get my, like this road is pretty good in the other lines of English, but here it's kind of sucking. Just so we don't block the bishop. I mean, I could take here and go there, and if they play e4, I just jump here and be fine. If I go here, I guess this is still on the menu here. Does it matter still? Like it's been there for a while. And also if I take here, is the queen like, how good is that on e7? It's probably okay square. Not very exploitable. I don't want to play d3, which of course would be like a normal way to stop e4s. Which I'm a little worried about this, but yeah. Why I don't want to play it is that I feel like they might just chop and then give me a check. So I'd probably have to block with the bishop, and then, I don't know, it's a lot of trades. I'll just chop it and go here. Alternatively, I could go b3. I don't know, maybe try to get this guy here, but, or put it here normally. But still, I mean, I guess I could like hope that they play e4, and then I'd get my knight here. And that's good-ish. I suppose it's pretty good. Of course they can stop that knight jump there, but c6 is not non-problematic. d5 is not coming. Not yet, at least. Maybe c6, d5 is coming. It's so annoying though. Push there while I haven't done anything about this mess here. This would be like a normal move. I'd be ready to castle. Everything would be right in the world. Again, I don't want to play e3 and put the knight here and here, even though that might be actually decent too. But I just dislike the holes I make by moving like both the c pawn, e pawn, g pawn, and then all the light squares are like Swiss cheese around here. I have the bishop here covering them. Oh, I have a queen b3 now that I've moved the bishop around and noticed that I am hitting there. But maybe we'll induce the c6. Not coming yet because the queen would be there, but and it would make it harder. I guess he can somehow like bring the knight out here, queen is here, then be wonder how good is b3, c6, bishop here, d5. They have a pawn duo in the center here. Okay, I'll play the normal move. Even though I'm kind of unhappy that I am playing it. Even though there is definitely nothing wrong with that. I hope. But I doubt there is. Otherwise, chess is probably wrong if there is something horribly wrong with that move. Except, of course, the fact that we haven't stopped e4. It can come forward. I guess I didn't even consider e4 going for a Botvinnik setup here. Should have at least crossed my mind. I don't know if it might be well suited to meet that with a rook d8 already free and this and that. I think. I don't know. I could have just brought the knight there. I have everybody covered d5. Okay, sorry, they have moved. Well, that is pretty normal looking stuff there. Also, another point is that why didn't I consider ed4? I don't know if it would have been good. I could consider it now too. But e4 then comes with more strength since I don't have this. I don't know. I'll castle and allow it. Not sure I can do much about it anyway, since I did block this too. Are we gonna take there? Or let it stand and maybe play b3? I don't know, like asking for some kind of punishment. I'm playing in a very, well, probably very too much modern, the hyper modern style of like controlling from the flanks, which is never natural to me. Always feels like my opponent has the pawns in the center. I'm like, ooh, I don't like this. To be honest, I don't know if I should like it. Seems like a pretty annoying pawn duo there. Yeah, taking here was probably a mistake. Well, let's keep in mind, what did we gain from that? We lost the control, we lost some time, but we did get the bishop pair. So let's try to utilize that in some way. And that means make it open, which they might do for us. Well, I don't think I want to go here, even though this looks tempting, but I can go there from here. I do realize now that there is a fork here if I go there. Is that a good fork though? Probably. Well, I'll go there anyways. Could have gone there and avoided the fork, but if they wanna go fishing for the pawn here, I'll allow it. I don't know, maybe I'll stick the knight here. Maybe I'll stick the knight there. D5 though. Then I can come back D4 though. Like I said, I hate playing G pawn, E pawn, C pawn. Why did I do it? Well, who knows? Mainly just to keep the knight in the center. That's the main reason, but... Oh, there is a tactic I did not realize when I did it. There is tactic I could take my pawn back here. I guess not, since you can take back. You already won a pawn. Well, I'll go with my original plan of bringing stuff here and getting tempo on there. It's not a really good tempo though, but it is something. I guess if queen goes there, I can play d3 and so I don't know, should probably go there and there, but then he's on this diagonal and a4 comes with some power. I don't know how bad of a thing it is for them to like retreat here, get out of the skewer. I mean, I don't know, I'll push there, see what's what. Bishop would have been probably okay too here. Then we could have brought out the rook. But I don't know. Pushing the queen around with tempis can be good. I don't know, he could of course go there, offer a trade. I don't know. Yeah, of course I can just take and take, so probably not that move. Here, I mean, it's possible. I could play spicy f4, open things up a little more. He's kind of getting behind in the development front, and that is what happens when you go hunting things that don't belong to you. Can I take advantage since I feel like my pieces are not very explosively coming out though. I don't have files to work with. I have some diagonals to work with this bishop, and I don't know. We have a temporary square here that could be a thing I'm about, but I'm not even pretend I'm gonna think about that move. I guess he defended this, so now he can offer me a trade there. I think I still can maybe take, go here. Trying to sneak there. D4, maybe D5 top, still maybe. Opening up and defending and all. I guess also if they trade the queens, I don't know why I'm hanging on that, just because they have an extra pawn. I feel like they might go for a queen trade there, but I was gonna say that I also maybe after that kind of stuff I could stick the bishop there. Also, any move that does not actually defend the square d6. What does defend the d6 though? Here, d5 is probably again not ideal because of the d3 and this, but maybe here, just to cover anybody going to d6. That is not covering d6. I could go there. Is that gonna be a tempo for them? Like, they'll attack my bishop and then they got this. If I have to move it backwards, then it kind of like he got it for free. That is plausible. We could push there, we could push there, try to open up the rook. And passant. And I'll take here with somebody. Who? Who though? Yeah, I don't think I should go there. Even though the queen, like I said, it's not ideally placed on d5. I guess it could also, if I play h4, not so committal. I don't know, I'll play f4. Not sure this opening up this bishop is gonna do anything, but also he doesn't have to actually take, which is of course true. At least, maybe. Stuff. F file. But to be honest, I don't know which way to take back. I have options. Knight takes is of course a tempo on the queen. The rook takes is like it does keep the knight here, but it's also probably the least best because of after d5 I'm already skewered here, so bishop takes also looks kind of wrong, to be honest. Just because we are on the bishop is pretty happy here, keeping anybody out of here or overall out of anywhere. All right, now I'm not sure at all. We could now stick this here. He can attack me with the knight move though. We could push this guy here. Queen there. I can't really push h4 because, well, we drop there, and also he can always go there. Anywho. So what happens after there? Let's say knight d4, d5, hitting my bishop. Could retreat here, cannot retreat there. We could go here and maybe threaten this. Queen is not so well equipped to move around. Just like one square here or there. But should we invite this guy around here? Guess I could go here. Invite the queen back here. Of course, then pawn is here. It's a bit questionable, but then I would probably permanently get the bishop there. And that would might be very unpleasant to get her out of there. I'll play this one, even though it looks insanely stupid, to be honest. But now the pawn blocks this stuff, so if he goes back, and I'll stick the bishop there. I might threaten to come back here, but mainly I'm just here as a block. Block the d-pawn. If the d-pawn is blocked, then how does this guy get out? Here. Knight has to get out somehow weirdly. Covering this, we're covering that, so already dominating the knight from here. And yeah, hopefully dominating the bishops or making it very awkward to get it out. And the pawn is kind of covering the bishop nicely here because the rook can't go after it. Of course, he can still offer a trade. That is legal. I can maybe chop, go rook f4. Guess knight goes back. We still go here. And it's a game. It's a game. Of course, I could also just somehow sidestep this and try to squeeze the queen. Or maybe on rook queen e1, so g3 is covered. Then we'd actually threaten to squeeze the queen. Guess he always has a dirty square on h6. And dirty square on h6. Alright, so now it's decision time. Wonder how good of an endgame is that, like just take in general and just stick the bishop there. Let's say b6, trying to get out here. If we play c5, the knight is getting in here pretty annoyingly. I don't know, does he have some ways to move the rook and then hit my bishop? I am down a pawn, and that is a freaking fact. A fact. So that might like speak for the not trading the queen's part, but this is tempo, so if I don't do it, then maybe he plays d5. Also, if I take the knight this here and doesn't have to retreat here, it could maybe retreat here, which I don't want to take. Except I kind of, if I go rook f4, I kind of force him to go back here and defend the pawn. I think, yeah. All right, so let's think. Can I somehow trap the queen? Let's say d5, rook f4. Queen there. h4, then I can't trap the queen. I mean, it's there. That's there. That's hanging, maybe. Not really, though. Yeah. I'll try this. I'm kind of intrigued by how strong this can be. Should we start with this move, though? I feel like I should start with this move. I'll start with this move. Just so the knight somehow doesn't get an ideas to go here. I don't know. I don't think I should have stopped that. The knight. I guess it's decent there. Or maybe more than decent. I don't know if it does actually much there. I mean, he can play h5 and say, I'm not gonna go away. I can say, go away. Of course, he can maybe go here, but then it's really out of play. Oh! But he had some ideas to kick my beautiful bishop out of there with the knight h6, knight f7. Or f6, knight f7, yeah. Alright, I'll just do it. I don't want to even pretend. Let's do a fast move and put some pressure on my opponent. So knight cannot really move without chopping the pawn. This side is a bit sad at the moment. If we play c5 ever, like, then I can always go harass that side there. And like I said, the pawn is really good here because it stops the rook lifts there. Of course, that I did say that I could maybe go there and there. But then I just trapped the rook, so no. Can't go there either. And I could always like play with the rook around. If I really think I'm worse and wanna draw. Okay, b6, can I squeeze on this side with this rook here? Guess the rook bishop here would defend the rook, so chop chop is allowed and takes. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I like this position somehow, even though we are down a pawn. That move I don't know if I like at all. I mean, I understand. Maybe he wants to play b5. But if I play a6, how do you ever get out of there without shedding a pawn? Do I understand nothing? I don't know. These guys seem very doomed. I mean, of course they can play b5 or b6 to kind of try to undoom stuff, but I did not like that. And now if I could somehow maneuver the knight there. Okay, so this does shed a pawn. I don't know, maybe that was his idea. I mean, I should probably take it. It's so sad, though. It is so sad. Could I just leave the pawn there? Let him come out with one dude there and then. Because if I take, maybe he bangs in d5 and then this side could unload. But if I move the knight, they are still a guy like this guy and that guy. Knight can go somewhere. I don't know, kind of quite a lot around there. But if I move here and I move against this pawn, this is still hanging here. I think I'll do it. I'll let the pawn stand, just to keep this here. Not be too greedy. I don't have to always jump to the gun to get my stuff back. I mean, okay, they could shed more pawns here, but then I'm up a pawn soon. And we still have the bishop there. And this is coming here. That is still hanging. This can't still move without dropping that pawn. I hope, yeah. And now he's also, maybe we are on ways. Also, yeah, this knight is gonna go here. It's gonna dominate this knight here. Because it had some ways to maybe sack the pawn to activate, but well, to be honest, it's not much. It is not much. But I don't know, maybe he should, well, I guess that will block the bishop diagonal too. I was gonna say that maybe he should, if he wants to actually get out, sack the pawn now, but Yeah, it's unpleasant, really unpleasant. Like it's overall unpleasant. Okay, we have to remember that that bishop. Well, no, not true. I was gonna say it's completely trapped there, but of course I can always take there here, and I have a square here, so it's not even close to being trapped. He decides that it's the. If he doesn't, then those guys are not coming out. Now, at least the bishop is swimming around here, and he maybe holds that one. Well, I'll still take it though. I didn't really find a way to stop that anymore. I guess that would attack the pawn now instantly too. I'll stop that. I think I could take there, and then if this goes here, I don't think that pawn is gonna go anywhere, right? C pawn. And I just want to go here and kind of discourage that move by hitting. That would block the bishop and drop this pawn. Of course, discoveries, but I don't think there is any good discoveries though. Like I take. Or take, yeah. I don't know, it's probably gonna be pins instead. And now, I guess we are not up a pawn yet. Okay, so maybe this guy wants to go out on this side. Anyways, let's finally, it's still not so clean, is it? Because then I can let him play d5, and then this is a little sturdier. It's well covered d5. So maybe we should keep on like pushing around there and there. This looks like a threat. Actually kind of unpleasant threat, since I guess knight here actually covers it too. And that would also cover my pawn here. But it does not cover it, the a pawn though. Okay, this would probably be safe, but let's play with fire more. Fire is nice. Fire makes you warm. Maybe if I have to move, I guess I would, no. Everything was enabled by the knight. It's gonna say that there is also this fork at some point. Maybe if I move the knight, I have to move the bishop somewhere. Let's see. Well, the problem is that he's shedding pawns to get some activity, and if your opponent gets activity, he can surprisingly get some games going on. Alright, so my point was that this good move covers, but drops these. Does that matter? I don't know. I hope not. And still shed. Now grab this pawn if that moves. This rook's not moving. Alright, so my opponent is going for things. Let's go for things ourselves. Oh, okay, I'll grab it. Maybe here. Maybe that would have been better. There is some danger. I'm in some danger here. Is it true danger? I don't know. I'll just take... Oh, shoot. Okay, maybe I made a boo-boo here. I can't take here, of course, because this is a huge fork here. Huge. Okay, it's serious. Definitely is a boo-boo here. I can't take here. Should I block the rook in though? Because I don't think the rook deserves to come out. I could maybe also go here to block the rook out. Or the rook checks. Yeah. That was a bad move. I thought I can take and allow the check and then go back, and if it chops, I'll chop, and then this is not gonna be a discovery, but or a skewer there. But I mean, it still would apply, but yeah, I forget the freaking fork there. I forgot about the freaking fork. Fork shitty. And this isn't good. This ain't good. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. Can I shed a pawn? If I take here, they'll hit my bishop, and then I can't defend this. Can't go there because knight is still covering that square. We could humbly go here, but I don't wanna. Well, let's humbly go there and cover it for a second. Hopefully they cannot attack the rook, and then I can maybe grab here meanwhile. Guess that is some... Oh. I should have probably looked at this guy here and played d4. Undefended. I guess he could do some kind of in-betweener, but then I would do an in-betweener. I could have attacked, moved this away with... I guess if I go that far, he's gonna take with the c-pawn. Okay, maybe it didn't work. Maybe it did not work. Maybe still here. Well, I'll go here. And then hit the bishop. Have this covered. Maybe hit this one. I guess he goes this side. Then I could maybe slide around here to back ranks. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Let's slide there. I could also at some point take here, but I don't wanna. The bishop seems pretty good. Okay, bishop is covering the back rank. That's not good. I don't know if I should allow check here while the knight is covering this. I'll do this kind of a move. Just take away, make some room and take away knight jumps there. I guess that is a legal move, but it does also probably run into that. Oh boys, oh boys, oh boys, oh boys, oh boys, oh boys. Is my knight in the wrong place? Is my knight in the wrong place? It is supporting this if I could somehow get it moving, but it's not so easy. Not so easy. Rook here is a bit unpleasant, but maybe doable. Queen here. Okay, I'm gonna panic move here because I just noticed I'm lower on time now. Lower on time, lower on money, lower on everything. I mean, maybe this is a threat. No, it's definitely a threat. Yeah, I defended the bishop. Alright, so he runs out of time. I think it was hopeless at this point now. But that was a fun game. Let's look at that. Maybe all the way from the top. Alright, so let's look at the book. Reverse Rossolimo. So basically we are in the same thing as bing, bang, bong, bang here, but in this one, like against the Rossolimo, often like here, black can, this is one of the lines, black can play here and get there, but on white side, of course, we're a tempo up on that. So here, of course, I could go here. Let's see the book. It is the most played move. Nobody plays knight d5. Nobody. And then he can take, but maybe also castle. Knight f3. Also the e4 is like all the time there. Going for the bot-winning setup maybe. Alright, so kind of weird. And the computer actually gives black an advantage here. Really? It's so bad. I understand that this is idiotic in a way. I did mention that. But still. Bear with me. So if straight up bishop b4, then this is fine. You don't want to go here when he can take it though. g3 is not a thing here. And this is not good, apparently. Well, it just seems so. I didn't think it's so bad. Let's claim it's not so bad. But yeah, maybe it's not ideal, like you just take it and, I don't know, castle and then say like, you dummy, you blocked your bishop. I mean, he's not wrong, is it? Is he? No, he's not. Alright, next time if you're fianchettoing your bishop, don't block it. Dummy. I mean, I guess in a, again, sorry, I'm going back into the reverse thingy. This is never really a good line for black anyhow. White scores really heavily in this. What does Mr. Machine say? Well, not that great an advantage, but gives a small advantage for white by going here. Alright. Well, and lots of people have gone there. It's not impossible. Okay, don't care about this move at all. Take, I don't care. And knight f3. I somehow did hesitate with this. Of course I could play d3 like a normal person here. But I didn't fancy that. Yeah, I'm happy with my line, even though computer seems to disagree a little bit there. And even this one I was kind of happy, like I saw that I can keep the pawn and go backwards, but I felt like it's gonna cost him a few tempi to go pick that up. Actually, computer gives white an advantage now. Interesting. Not good apparently. What's the good follow-up here? Just humbly puts the bishop here. Or banks f3. Not that, no advantage though. Alright, well, I like my solution. Shut it to stockfish. Getting out of the line there. Queen there is fine. Assume everything is pretty fine. Except maybe this when I can play the... Oh, somehow f3 is a lot better than d3. Wonder why. Okay, well, d3 is good too. But f3 is really good. Rook takes, threatens this. Queen slides away. Really? You just chop there? Is this kind of gonna be the same as the game? Oh. And with the exchange sack to put. Well, that is disgusting. But yeah, don't do this for your pieces. Alright, well, this was fun though. Oh, f5 is the computer's top choice and it is good. He should just take. I expected him to take. Okay, I get my things out. I don't know what. I probably would have taken with the queen. That's what I was leaning towards. Computer would take with the knight and say, move again. Let's move again. Then stick the bishop here. But at least now you have the queen here and you can move something and then hit the bishop. Except hit bishop can hit back. Can it? Can it? I suppose it can. Oops, system. All right, f5, good. Okay, here I was really struggling with the decision to trade or try to not to trade, but apparently this is fine. Assume he has to play d5. Apparently d6 is fine too. Seems crazy, but let's play normal move d5. And then rook f4. This was my alternative, right? Going for queen hand. g4 I did not see. How does that work? Let's go. If goes back, then this is thank you. He has to go this side. So after this he can say bang. Then up a piece. That is actually kind of surprisingly bad. And if he doesn't take it and he sticks the queen here, we just push here. Is h4 good? h4 is also good. But maybe this is better with instant threat here. Let's move out of the fork. Here, still here. Queen's gone. Alright, so, well, I assumed that black had something better somewhere that did not trap the queen though. This seems pretty forced though. Queen h5, so we are not instantly in pins. But still, same thing. Same freaking thing. Maybe it's just gone. Maybe it's just gone. Alright, well. My instincts, well, I don't know. I didn't see g4 strength though, but mainly looked at stuff like I get there, he goes there, and I don't know, I'll push. I think I was looking h3 or something, or I could go here, but then he goes there, and then it's probably fine here. Looking at h3, apparently that's still fine, but this is not as good because the queen escapes, and he had the d5 in, and meh. Alright, so endgame, and then stick the bishop there. Did it matter which way I did it? Now apparently I chose the right way. So if I went here, f6, then do this, knight h6. Oh, I did mention this idea. I had an idea if he did knight f6 here, or knight h6 here, is that, well, also this is hanging, of course. Did I see that one? I don't know. What was my idea? Like here, You can also move this. That's not forcing at all. I forgot what my idea was here. I had something planned, but I don't know. Was it that I saw that hanging? Might be, probably not. Who knows what's going on in my head? Nobody knows. Alright, a6 looked, yeah, really bad, because then you have to shed pawns. b6 probably is the right way, right? Or a5 also optional. g4, knight d5. Again, it's giving up back pawns. So how bad is this? Like you try to get things out. g5. I guess that is a threat. And if you try to stop it, you just keep insisting and picking up a pawn while keeping this guy here. Yeah. All right. a6 though. Not good. Good try though. And yeah, see. Okay, I chose the wrong side. No, I did choose the right side, yeah. This almost gives all the advantage away because suddenly things are getting out. So keep control. They can come out, which they did not. So I was gonna just go here and say thank you. This knight, even though it can move, it's not too scary around here. What are you gonna do? I mean, you can go here, but we can just chop the pawn and then suddenly if you take here, your knight is already dominated. There's no more outposts here. Anyways, he went here. I think he figured out that if he goes out with the knight, then the bishop is gonna probably stay there. And if bishop stays there with the b7 on b7, then the rook stays there too. Oh, he's trying. And he did get somewhere because I did make something stupid happen around here. Yeah, I mean, I thought I'm here, but I missed a simple fork here. Horrible. Should just move the rook here and keep the a file blocked, and his activity is not great. We have to move the bishop. Ay. I mean, you're still covering it, but it's a winning pawn for sure soon. Yeah, that's bad. Otherwise, this game was nice, except I had a real oversight there, giving up a lot of plays. They should have stick the knight there. I guess just covering a pawn, and pawns are pawns. True. Apparently, taking would have been better. I did not see how I covered this after this though. But maybe that doesn't matter because of the knight d6 and the pawn walks through. Alright, so he can't take the pawn. Guess he can't even go here. Alright. There is this cure though. Here. Knight d6 here. Knight takes here. Up few pawns. Can we keep this? Probably because the knight is pretty dominated again. But okay, I didn't see any of that. That's good. Good. Alright, this is what here I panicked because I have thoughts for a long time and then I moved when I realized I had like 10 seconds left. 22 when I with the increment, but I was calculating stuff like here and there and can I push those through? I didn't see it and I thought this is not too too scary if I just jump there and be fine. Like this is not a mate threat with the knight bishop covering everything. And this guy can't go here, which is pretty good. But also I'm not sure how this goes forward, so and there is that. Well, this was half panic. I noticed that afterwards that there is a threat with it too. And then he made the threat even better. Then the piece is gone. Kind of fun. I made one inaccuracy. Rook takes there. Okay, I made a lot more inaccuracies, so that's a silly review. Anyways, thanks for watching, and ciao.